Report with another great video, I'm sure. This guy is always making quality content. Today, we have an interesting title here. Is Cooper Flagg in trouble? Now, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot in terms of context, what this is about. I don't know who Cooper Flagg is, don't even know what team he played for. I've been hearing his name ever since the Mavs won the NBA lottery, which I also didn't watch. Remember, and for anybody new to the channel, I'm an NBA casual, so take everything I say with a little grain of salt. But I think Hoop Reports has done a great job covering the Mavericks situation. Everything with Luka, you know, the other videos that I've watched from him covering that topic here on the channel, you can check those out here, or you can just watch the original stuff over on his channel because they're all worth watching. But basically, we're gonna see why Hoop Reports is fearful and why probably a lot of other fans of Cooper Flagg are fearful of him going to the Mavericks, and you know, see what that's about in this video. Let's go ahead and check it out.
On April 5th, 2025, Cooper Flagg suffered one of the most heartbreaking losses in college basketball history.
Oh.
You could see it in his eyes.
Duke.
He was shattered. But even in heartbreak, one bright spot remained. He was still the undisputed #1 pick, a ticket to the NBA, a fresh start.
Which the Mavs have.
Unfortunately, fate didn't just hand him a jersey, it handed him a curveball.
Airline Center, it was not the typical fun spirit that you normally see on a game day.
You guys got a statue right there. It's supposed to be Luka right there. Why we don't got a statue for Luka? Because we got bum-ass management.
Come on. Dallas isn't going to win this. Come on.
The #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft.
By the way, so painfully, like they couldn't even cover it up just a little bit. They couldn't give him like the second one or something like that. No, they had to. It's just so it's so pathetic.
Goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
Sold out your best player for.
If this was the moment
Like,
he'd always dreamed of, he wasn't acting like it.
I mean, can you blame him after what they just did to their franchise guy? I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people now are seeing what's happening with the Lakers and seeing like, oh, they dropped out of the playoffs. Luka looked terrible. His defense was non-existent. And it's been interesting to watch the conversations happen because you've had a lot of people swinging the other direction now saying, oh, they were right about Luka. You know, he's lazy. He can't get it done. His skill is dwindling. And then you have the pendulum swinging back in the other direction. Like, nobody was ever denying that Luka was a party animal or that he was a little bit hefty, right? That wasn't the problem. The whole meme of if Luka wants to drink 1,000 Bud Lights before a game, let him because he's gonna pop off. He's Luka, right? That was a thing for a reason. The problem is that they made the trade that they did and that they didn't even shop him around. And the fact that they tried to cope after the fact by saying it was because he was out of shape and lying about how out of shape he was. So I don't know enough to chime in on that discussion, but it's been interesting to watch.
Or Wemby's otherworldly hype. But at just 18, the fire he's stepping into might burn hotter than anything a #1 pick has ever faced. Because this isn't just about talent anymore. It's about a storm he didn't start, but has to survive. Will it break him?
I mean, yeah, dude, I mean, just start drinking a lot, I guess, before each game and then tell them no.
Hey guys, a while back my computer got hacked. Someone stole my credit card information and started racking up charges. Luckily, they didn't get into my Hoop Reports YouTube account. Because if they had, that would have been a nightmare. If I had to guess where it happened,
is this legit or is this for a sponsorship? Because he was inactive for a minute and I was kind of wondering why.
Probably while using
like during the playoffs too.
Public Wi-Fi at a cafe, a library, maybe even while traveling. I didn't realize this before, but public Wi-Fi is one of the easiest ways for hackers to steal your data. That's why I'm working with today's sponsor.
Okay. Is this legit though? Like it's based off of personal experience, or did he just make that up to try to sell it? Holy shit with the B-roll. Oh my god.
This is Newport, Maine.
I guess not technically.
A quiet town of just 3,000, where Cooper Flagg was born and raised. He might be the best American prospect since LeBron James, but at his core,
should I react to his highlights
just
here
a
on the
small
channel?
Town kid. He spent time outside, especially fishing, but loved zoning out on video games too. At school, he wasn't chasing popularity. People describe him as polite, approachable, just easy to be around. He went to prom, showed up to graduation. Yeah, he's special on the court, but off it, he's a lot more like the rest of us than you'd think.
So the Mavs are basically trying to get their golden boy, like equal in skill, but better, like more well-mannered than Luka.
In February 2025, the most baffling trade I've ever seen.
And you know, if
went
he doesn't
down.
kiss ass, they're
There
gonna
were
come down on him
thousands of
hard.
reasons it made no sense. Speculation ran wild. What could possibly justify trading Luka Doncic? Then came May 12th, the lottery. Kyrie said it
So
best,
thinly veiled.
and in a flash, the mystery was gone.
This is a dark, dark day in my estimation because they have undeniably rigged this lottery and they've done it right under our noses, right in front of our faces.
I mean, having a lottery for
some people will
picks is
say,
just so stupid
come
to
on,
me.
man, it was legit. The ping pong balls were drawn live. It was a sanctioned event. Sure, but come on now. If a magician can make an elephant vanish on live TV, do you really think the NBA couldn't nudge a few ping pong balls and slap a legit label on it?
In 1992, I meet Mr. Stern in March. Then he pulls me to the side, you want to play where it's cold or where it's hot? And I was like, hot. A couple of days later, they had the draft thing in Orlando, Florida. Was number one. I was like,
We've seen the lottery
What?
play out a little too perfectly more than a few times. But Cooper's situation, this is much, much different. Let's be real.
And then they
Nico
had the audacity to fucking film from that back angle. Like, look how legit this was. Look at our reaction.
Harrison and Patrick Dumont aren't exactly fan favorites at the moment. Ever since they traded Luka Doncic, they've been absolutely torched by the media, by fans, by everyone.
You can do what you want to do as an owner. You can also be called stupid for doing it. And that's exactly what I'm calling Dallas Mavs ownership. Stupid for doing what they did.
I've seen plenty of bad
That's just a
ownership over the
no-brainer.
years, but the way the Mavericks front office handled Luka's exit might be the slimiest I've ever witnessed. Now, put yourself in Cooper Flagg's shoes. You're barely out of high school, and you're stepping into a franchise where the people calling the shots have already shown their true colors.
Ugh.
I mean,
Motherfucker's
for the
just
last
a
6
look evil.
months, they've been trashing the guy who just carried them to the NBA Finals.
By far
They
the
called him
weirdest part
fat.
of it.
They
The
called him
pettiness
lazy.
of it is
They
so
questioned his
disgusting.
work ethic and professionalism.
smear campaign
after
is so
everything he did for them.
Blatant.
Now, imagine being Cooper and realizing these are
He
my new
literally looks
bosses?
like young Luca. Like,
How do you even wrap your head around that? Can I actually trust these guys? If I show up a little out of shape, will they start whispering that I don't care enough? What if I go out for a drink? Are they going to say I don't have the focus of a Kobe or a Jordan? As bad as the front office is, however, this is just the tip of the iceberg for Cooper.
uh-oh.
All number
What?
one picks walk into a rebuild. Low expectations, time to grow, star by default. But Cooper, that's not what he's walking into.
Oh yeah, he's
Let's take
not because everyone's aging. Oh fuck, I didn't even think about that. So he's walking into like the end and then the rebuild.
A closer look at the Mavericks. His college team had talent, no doubt, but Cooper's never played with anyone like Kyrie. And more intimidating than Kyrie's game is Kyrie's mind.
You went on a podcast and you said you believe the Earth was flat, and do you actually you want to reel that in, or you still believe the Earth is flat?
You know what?
Anthony Davis is a generational talent too, and he just happens to play the same position as Cooper. So, if AD is healthy, does Cooper even start? And if he doesn't, can he handle something he's never faced before, coming off the bench? Cooper will also be teammates with a guy who's been at the top countless times and never lets you forget it. This is the environment he's stepping into. These guys aren't toxic. They're not going to scream in his face or treat him like trash, but they're also not here to babysit. They're in win now mode, and the last thing they want is an 18-year-old rookie slowing them down.
I mean, I think that's probably the most cynical, unnecessarily cynical look at it, I think. I don't know. Like, again, grain of salt. This is just my uninformed, casual opinion. But, like, I mean, a young prospect, as long as he's not coming in with arrogance and ego, I don't see why they would treat him any differently. Like, and I'm sure if he's as accountable and as responsible and as good of a character as he is, he's not going to have a problem coming off the bench. If anything, he probably expects it. Really, I don't think this is an issue. I think ownership and Harrison are really just the problem here.
If this was the whole story, Cooper might be all right. But as the title suggested, this is a war
And
zone.
also, that's a big if AD is healthy. So no matter what, he can get some minutes.
Cooper isn't
get
just
in there,
arriving
so.
in Dallas. He's stepping into a city with a broken heart.
Same,
Okay.
bro, same.
You know,
Normally,
he went
another
out of
one
his
pick-
way to put all that on the floor just to cry for the camera. Look at that. Look at how he arranged the shoes. That seems like a real genuine cry.
Same, bro, same.
Normally, a number one pick of his caliber would
Cringe.
be met with open
Sorry,
arms.
couldn't help it.
But remember, for the past 6 years, Dallas was Luka City. The man gave them magic. Epic playoff runs, nightly
Yeah, it
brilliance.
was, but
and a
I
trip
don't
to
think
the
they
NBA
have.
Finals.
I don't think they're so emotionally
In
immature
return, the city
to
didn't just
take it
cheer
out
for
on some
him.
random person
They
if they're
loved
not even
him.
going to take it out
We
on the general
we wanted to
management.
get Laker gear to support his new journey for sure.
We are here to support Luka, not the Mavs.
And we're
Think of it like this. Right after breaking up with the boyfriend or girlfriend your entire family adored, you bring home a new partner. The pictures are still up on the walls. Your mom still slips up and says their name. No one's ready to move on, but here is this new partner trying to fill the void. How do you think that dinner's going to feel? Well, that's exactly what 18-year-old Cooper Flagg is walking into. Still playing the same game he always has, only now he'll be doing it in front of fans who are still holding on to Luka. Fans still wearing his jersey.
I don't think it's that deep in that regard.
He knows Cooper Flagg is the reason he was traded. If Cooper Flagg didn't exist, if this generational prospect had never been born, Luka Doncic knows he'd still be in Dallas. So,
But then
from
another
day
player
one,
would've just
Cooper
come
will
along
be
and-
tied to a superstar he's never even met, not by choice, but by consequence.
Again, I don't think he's going to take it out on him.
Their paths are now intertwined in a way that's impossible to ignore. Will Luka come for him? Not out for hate, but as a statement? A reminder of what Dallas lost. And if that moment comes, how will Cooper Flagg handle it? Cooper Flagg wasn't raised under the bright lights of LA or New York. He grew up in driveways, in high school gyms, in the cold silence of a town that doesn't chase fame. And from day one, neither did he.
Ew. Sorry.
Cooper wasn't about flash. No viral mixtapes, no choreographed celebrations. Just sweat, grit, and every possession played like it was his last. Even as a teenager, he was better than everyone around him, but he never acted like it. He just kept working. His mom was his high school assistant coach. His twin brother
The
Ace
fuck?
was his first rival. And whether it was family competition or small town values, something forged Cooper Flagg into a team-first mentality player. A kid who climbed his way up, from the driveway, up. And now, he's still just 18 years old, a teenager. But the moment he's walking into, there's never been anything like this in NBA history.
But at the same time, he has an entire team around him that's been prepping him for this. It's been a lot of press around him. He's been dealing with this pressure for a lot longer than just right now, a lot longer than just after the Mavs win the lottery. So he's been preparing for this. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly be a top prospect. It happens quickly, but you know what I mean? It's not something that he was just oblivious to and now it's suddenly upon him. If anything, that competitive nature is probably just going to work even harder. It's going to be a chip on his shoulder to succeed with the Mavs. I think this is reading too much into it, honestly.
He didn't ask to be drafted by a franchise in chaos. He didn't ask to carry a city that just lost its heartbeat.
Excuse me.
He didn't ask
Sorry.
for the pressure or the expectations. But here he is, thrown into the fire. All he can do is what he's always done, play ball. But this isn't Newport.
Ew.
This is the NBA. And the question is no longer, is he good enough? It's, will the weight of it all break him? Or
I don't think so.
Build him into one of the greatest stories the league has ever seen. His path will be lined with traps, setbacks, and pressure no number one pick has ever faced before. He's arguably the best American prospect since LeBron James. And whether this ends in heartbreak or greatness, one thing's for sure. His story's just getting started, but the fire is already burning. And now, the world gets to watch what he becomes.
All right, great video, great, well edited. I do think, however, a lot of this is just looking at the worst possible outcome, which is not very likely. In reality, he probably goes to the NBA, he has a quiet start if he starts, but probably doesn't. He probably sits on the bench and then he comes out swinging, and his teammates welcome him with open arms. They're probably mutually respectful. He's probably beware of management and ownership, tries to be polite, get through it, play his best, and just keep a distance. And if any drama starts, it'll be because they initiate it. I don't think the players are going to do anything. I don't think Luka is going to have it out for flag, or vice versa. Oftentimes we look at trades like this and players that have something back and forth, and very rarely does anything ever happen. Maybe a couple tweets back and forth if there is like direct confrontation, but I don't think all the drama that we think of is usually just fairy tales. At the end of the day, it's people trying to do their jobs. And I don't know, maybe I'm ignorant. You can let me know if there's anything I'm missing out on down in the comments below. But yeah, I just think ownership and general management, like we all know, is going to be probably a point of concern. The players, I don't think so. He's a young guy who has nothing to do with it. We can all sit here and acknowledge that. So I think the players know what it's like to be in that position, know what it's like to deal with fame that you could never imagine, and they're going to understand. But, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below. That is the video. Thank you for watching.